Okay, good morning. It's Sunday morning. I already did my for my R2 students. Good morning, guys. Art one. So, let's talk about our project for this week. We're going to do a little bit of Gothic or medieval, not really Gothic. We're going to do medieval Romanesque. Gothic is 1190 the 12 into the 12th century, late 12th century. Romanesque is much earlier. It substitutes. It's influenced by the Western Europe. The arches, everything's more rounded. And we're going to do two illuminated letters. Now, what are illuminated letters? Well, if you look at old documents, the beginning of a chapter or a section or in a document, the first big letter of the paragraph, the introductory paragraph, was painted with gold and silver, mostly gold. Sorry about that. And they were knotted. So you're gonna have this right here. This is a few samples of how it's gonna look like. Um, and here's in the booklet that I made for my students. And these are Irish knotted letters, influenced by the Vikings. I'm gonna do Romanesque, the Lombard French style. I'm more partial to that one. But if you want to do the Celtic, I will put that too. Later on, we might just do a coat of arms, and then we're going to get into our comic book. So basically, so let's go into this right now. So if you want to know what I'm going to show you some of the ones my students have made in the past. Some students have done. This is some of the letters you would see influenced by the fashion in medieval times due to the Vikings. Here's some letters a student of mine did in the past. See that? Gold and silver, which I do have gold and silver paint in the classroom. Unfortunately, I know we don't. Do you have to color them? No. Sometimes I know the Irish didn't use gold and silver because it was very expensive. I had a student here who did theirs. I like this K. Pretty nice K here. And very simple. Although they put texture on the C, but it's the K that saved them. Sometimes can be very creative. So the student, she kind of messed up, but then she redid it again. So I told her not to use illuminated. So she did this, really nice work, but she didn't follow instructions, so she had to do it all over again. So let me put this back in there. Don't want these to go away. So, okay. So now, this is what they should look like. Here's a good sample of what my students did. Here's another one, except they didn't know how to apply the gold and silver paint. And here's some really good ones too. Let me put this away. Now, some students actually they took the original one. Before I told them, before you color, she colored it first. She did it, and I asked her, let me have the black and white before you color. She used colored pencils, so we made a photocopy in black and white. And that's what they're supposed to look like. This is the Irish style. So, and she put a lot of. She was the young lady who did this. My student. I think she was Irish American. So, like I said, we're going to start this off right now. So I'm going to keep these two samples. I'm going to keep my my knotted letters. Now, like I said, let's start this off. So we're going to start this off. I need a good surface. I'm going to start off with pencil, of course, in case I make mistakes. I'm going to grab a sheet of paper. I'm going to pick two letters. So I'm going to fold this for two. So I'm going to pick I should pick an F and a G because of my name, but I could pick any letters I want. So I'm going to go with E, and I'm probably going to do R because they're the toughest ones, and I'd rather do that for you guys. So E, very simple. I'm going to flip this around, and E is going to look in prior to the Gothic period or the Romanesque period, which was from 900 or actually 800 up to mid 1100s, medieval Europe, architecture, clothing, and they were trying to recreate the Roman style. So this is going to be my E. See that? It's not that. So doing this in pencil first. It's okay. All designers and artists do everything in pencil, and the next one will be in R. Okay, so here we go. There's my R. So And you can also make him look Viking. If you want to do the Irish knots, you can definitely do that. I'm okay with that. So starting off with this, I'm going to create, first of all, I'm going to create a double line. I'm going to make it look like a cylinder. Well, not a cylinder, like, there we go. First step. Here we go. I'm going to grab my eraser. Where are my erasers at? There we are. So I'm going to erase some of these lines in here because I'm doing this freehand. Okay, you guys can see that. And I'm going to do just like a train track. There we go. Okay, so I'm pretty much done this, as you guys can see that. That's going to be my E. It could be a C too, or an F. For my R, I'm going to do the same thing I did here. I'm going to create two lines, then another line going here, and then, so let's, and the reason we do knotted letters, there were no such thing as zippers back then or buttons. Everything was basically a belt. So, and knotted, you would knot everything together close. So I got my R and my E. So I'm going to start with E first. So first of all, I am going to do my strip right here. I'm going to do my second strip. Can you guys see that? There we go. Now remember, you guys can play the video back and forth as many times as you need to. There we go. Okay. And let's go here. Okay, so now I'm going to curve this a little bit more out here so I can have more room in here. So why this? Why am I teaching guys? Well, it's a little bit of art history, I know, but you know, you'll be surprised again in printing. Okay, so now, you know, you have better chances of getting a good job in printing than uh, the internet market's already saturated, all those tech guys and all that. So here's for our letter E. I'm going to start with the letter R2. Here we go. I'm going to do one strip here, another one here. So I'm sketching. I'm going soft and go, you know, stop and go, soft and I'm not pressing too hard. Also later on, if you want to draw like a dragon's head, you can do that. I'm going to bring this a little bit down here. Okay, cool. Okay. And same thing here. Got this strip here. And it's good to do it in pencil first because if you mess up, you can always erase. There we go. Don't need this, so I can get rid of this line. Whoops. And then now here, I think we're going to have a knot or belt buckle go here. And it's basically doing a circle. You can do it oval shape, which I'm trying to do right now. There we go. I'm going to do a smaller one here too. Maybe another one here. But let's finish this. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. I'm going to do the strip here. Okay, here we go. So if you look at the handout, there's a sample there how to do it. You know, here we go. There's the second strip. Good, good. So everything back then, that's what they were. They were mostly strips. Very common in France, England, Western Europe, from Norway to Denmark. The Vikings had already, by the 1100, let's say 1000s and 900s, have pretty much calmed down, converted to Christianity. They converted and dealt with the papacy in Rome. So basically, were becoming civilized, but their culture still intertwined. And one of the things was writing. Writing was very important. Writing is considered an art medium itself, calligraphy. There we go. Now, if we were in the classroom, I would be teaching guys how to do this. So So I got my two letters. This could be a C or an E or even an F. And here's my R. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start making what I call them the donuts. Okay. So I like going a little bit. Do they have to be the same size? No. Here we go. They don't have to be perfect. I'm going to flip this here like this. So, and I like just to get these out of the way first. So that's what we do. Okay. Look at the sample. They're right here in the worksheet online. Okay. There we go. And here's one. This line that goes this way. Here it's going to get messy. We're going to have all these strips. They're going to have to interlace. So you got to squeeze them in. There we go. Right here. And there's another one that goes here too. Yeah, I think the Irish ones are really tough, but so no, not tough. They're just a lot more detail. They're not tough. They're just so if you're more artistic, I prefer the French style. So here we go. So I'm making my donuts. Now here I have a problem, and here too. I'm arching my lines. Noticing I'm not flattening. I'm arching my lines. Okay. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna do there's several types of knots we can do. There's 4 samples here. I'm more partial to the fleur-de-lis. I'm going to do the fleur-de-lis down here. But first, this is how you do the fleur-de-lis. I know you guys seen the Da Vinci Code, but I'm not. Basically, it's the M for Mary, and then you flip the V down. So to see that, I did the M for Mary, and the V for Virgin, and then the A pops out. So now I'm going to pop this out, make an arch here, see that? And I'm going to make another arch here for the other leg. And then, whoops. And then like a little flame, the tip. And then down here too. You guys see that? Okay, so now I'm going to imagine this will flip around. This will curve as well. This will curve over here and curve here. Now the question is, how do I do the bottom? Well, that means I have 2 lines going this way. It will happen. So what I'm going to do is this guy's going to come out this way. This guy's going to go underneath. There we go. And it's probably going to flip. And probably it's going to full. So it's going to full here. And it's going to go down here. And it's going to go down here later on. There we go. Same thing with this guy. It's going to be one that goes this way. So this guy's going to go underneath. It's going to full 2. And I'm going to see the fold the opposite. It's going to go this way, this way. Oh, it's not perfect. Okay, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. You know. Remember, this was medieval period, so you could be a little bit off. And bring this one here. But I'm not done with this yet. There we go. We got this little gap here. That's cool. So it bends here. This one will bend here. This one will bend right here. It's just an optical illusion. We want to make it look like it's actually knots. Now bring this here. I got rid of the M and the V. And this one's going to look like it's going this way. Okay, actually it's going to go this way. Nope, it should go this. So now, there we go. Erase some of that. And we're still designing. There we go. That goes here. We might have another one going underneath it there too. There's going to be a lot of crisscrossing. There we go. Erase some of this. There we go. And this guy's going to go underneath it. Okay, so you see that, guys? Okay, so now I can have more knots put in here. Oh, let's finish this one down here. So I am going to do, let's do the, instead of knots, I'm going to give it, they call it the paw. You know, going to make it look like a bear's or an animal's paw. It looks like an upside down crown, but it's not. It's really, and I'm going to give it some texture here, like it's turning into an animal. It's going from knots into kind of a beast, like it's turning into a werewolf. There we go. And the werewolf legend actually is very common in France. So there we go. Also, men could turn into a bear. So, or female women too. I don't know what they used to call them, but they did happen. You know, they believed in that superstition. You know, if it did happen, I don't. But there we go. So medieval folks had really strange ideas because of religion, but a little time there was no science. So there we go. Here's one knot here, and actually I can. Doesn't have to be perfect knots. You know, it's like we have to make it look organic. There we go. This guy's a little bit. There we go. There's one here too. And I'm going to do a smaller knot here. There we go. Do you guys see that? Okay, cool. So now let's start off with here. I'm going to make another fleur-de-lis, but I'm going to put a ring on it here. I'm going to make this more like the Lombard. So keep that here. So again, I start with an M. See that? And then I'm going to put a V, like it's like a pointed tip. There we go. This helps me. It's kind of like a ruler in a way. It helps me create my curves. See that? Make my little flame. It's supposed to be the flower. If you look at it, it's a French. It was the symbol of the French royals until 1798, the French Revolution. The Bourbons. You also see it in the Spanish royal house. They're Bourbons too, and in the Duchy of Luxembourg, Grand Duchy of Luxembourg. Still an independent country. They're all descendants from Louis XIV. So here it is. There's my not. I don't like this curve here. Let's fix that up. There we go. You guys see that? So I already did the R. Okay. Now I'm going to do my knotted letters for my. I'm going to probably just do one here. There we go. It's a donut. Okay, cool. This I'm gonna give it another ring, but I'm not gonna make a fleur-de-lis. I'm gonna give it a beast, the head of an animal. If you want to, it could be a dragon. So we want to make this look a little bit. So I'm doing this to look more like a bat. See that? Like a brass ring. So if you don't have a felt tip pen, you can use a ballpoint ink to outline this later on. So now I'm gonna do probably. I'm thinking of using a griffin's or. There we go. Like a head coming out here, and then it's it's like an eagle's head. There we go. Here's its eye. Okay, its jaw. It's gonna go this way. It's gonna have, and griffins almost look like eagles, so they were mythical creatures. They never did exist. Uh, there we go. Its beak, maybe a tongue if I want to, and its eyes. There we go. There we go. It looks like a dragon too. We can do that. Have its tongue come out this way. I'm going to make another brass ring here. Now, medieval art, with the exception of Gothic, although this looks a little bit more Gothic, It was a style. Everything in Gothic was pointed. It was called a new style. It was not called Gothic till the some other historians call it. They could say, "Oh, that's from the barbarians." So, but Romanesque is closer to barbarian art, in my opinion. And I'm going to do another knot here for you guys. We're not fully done with these guys. I'm doing the rings, donuts first because they're just easier for me. Do them now. Might make another one down here before we use the pen. I'm trying to think. I want to do a werewolf, so I'm gonna give it snot. I'm not gonna do a werewolf. Give it an ear here. Maybe another dragon. I think I'm gonna do a dragon instead. There it is. A dragon. I guess it's because we're talking all this stuff about, Vikings. That little thing here. Another. It looks more like you can do flowers too. I'm not going to make the French fleur de lis. I'm going to do the Italian Florentine, which is basically the emblem of Florence in Italy. And it has basically, it's a red flower. And it has two little flowers or daisies popping on the side. Just to change things around. I just noticed there's a weird bump down here. So let's do the knots. And we have to do this first before we color. We want to pick colors. There we go. Here's one knot. And there's going to be another donut here. And a little one down here. They're not all the same size because, you would have been a monk or a nun doing this in a monastery, the first letters. To copy, there were no printing presses back then. To do an entire book by hand, copying just a book from the Bible, either from the Old Testament or the New, or a book of hours. They were like copies of letting you know what to do during the season of the year. If you were literate, you probably would have either a Bible and the book of hours. Those were the largest private libraries people would have, mostly kings, very wealthy dukes or princesses or noblemen, men who owned the land, was probably 100 books. Literacy was slowly, little by little, being rediscovered in Western Europe. There's a cool book called Name of the Rose, if you guys ever want to watch. And that's what it is. Okay, so now we got our donuts done. See that? We got our donuts. I put a tip onto the letters. You guys see that? I did a fleur de lis here, more Viking style. Here I did it more like French, but like the Florentine. I changed, by adding these two flowers, I made it Florentine. So now my dragon doesn't look too, it looks more like a wild boar. Give it its ear, give it some texture here. So there's my letter E. I'm not fully done. I'm not done, because you know what I have to do? I have to flip over the knots, just like over here. See that? So now I'm going to have this knot go through here this way. Maybe start it off really smoothly here. There we go. Go underneath this one. And maybe the one down here is going to go underneath it. This knot's going to go underneath it. So what I'm going to do is, so you guys will not get lost, you can see what I did. This goes here like that. Tracing it with my pen. There we go. Except I got this knot here. This guy's going to go here. It does get a little bit... I'm trying to think. Should I leave that ring there? Not really, because it's actually being... Okay, so have the ring go here. And have this knot. Okay, so that's what's going to happen. Right now I'm going to fix this. After I do it with ink, I cannot go back. That's the bad part of it. So let's start off with the letter E. So I'm going to do my knots here. Okay. This one went underneath, so this means it's going to go up here, and it's going to go out this way. Whoops. And they do shrink. This one's going to go from, so we want to do it opposite. and this one's going to go underneath, come out this way, and maybe goes in there. Okay, so this one's kind of fixed. So I'm going to do my brass ring here. I hope I don't mess up. It does happen. When it does, you have to fix it. It's problem solving visually. You weren't expecting that in art, were you? So this means this one's going underneath my ring here. The brass ring's still there. There we go. To make it look like it's brass. So there we go. This weird creature that I just made, it looks, I don't know if it's a dragon. It's kind of iffy. Yeah, so here's one ear. Here's the other ear. It's texture. Put one fang here, another fang. Although they probably would have done just one fang. Some artists lost the concept of space and form back then. So it's like it looks like a wild boar from the pit. Okay, there we go. So let's continue here. So now I would advise you do the knots first in pencil. I'm doing this so you guys can see what's going to happen. So now this knot goes underneath, but it should be more aligned to this. This one's going to go there like that. So this ring's going to go here this way. So this knot's going to go this way. Okay, and I guess this one wants to go above. And then this guy's going to go underneath. Okay, so I'm doing this so you can see, so you won't get lost. And there's my arch. Put this down here like that. I'm going to stop here because I'm going to, now from now on, I'm going to start doing this in pencil. So when I erase, let's see, because I want to have contrast. Let's do this. Put this here too. There we go. Let's see what happens. Should have let the ink dry a bit more. It was too fresh. It did smear it a little bit, but not. Can you guys see that? There we go. Let me finish this. There we go. So now, later on I'm going to color, and I want to pick contrast color. So this guy went over, so this means this guy's going to go probably over and underneath. You can imagine it. It's going to go. There we go. That's okay. So this means this guy's going to go underneath and go underneath right here and reappear. And this guy is going to pop out. And this means this guy's going to come out again. Whoa. Do the same thing. No, I can't because it's this guy's turn. So if you need to grab an eraser, do that. Just to remind you, hey, this guy's turn. Okay, there we go. And this guy's going to go, it goes underneath and it's going to pop out. Take advantage. There it is. It's going to go underneath and then it's going to come out this way. See that? You guys see that? So this means this guy's going to go underneath here now, like a snake. Okay. This is holding it in. And it's going to go through here. So think of it like a snake. It's going to go out this way. Come out from this ring underneath here. So now what I'm going to do is, so I will not mess this up, I'm going to give it more texture here. There we go. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to go here, finish that. So this guy goes underneath here. There is this side here. And there's this guy here. So this ring pretty much goes out this way. Okay, ahora salgo a comer, Mom. Ooh, this ring's almost kind of loose. That's okay. You know, like I said, we're doing medieval art. So I have a little gap here, have that other ring here. So I'm going to probably going to paint my rings like if they were of copper, made of brass. I'm trying to think, should I keep this one underneath? No, I'm going to have this loop over. Okay, and keep this one down like this. This one's going to go in underneath there. So, and this ring's pretty much going to be, well, no, it's okay. It's not, that's what I can do. I can put another ring holding these two guys together. And then add some texture here. There we go. Problem solved. So that's how we fix this letter. So remember, so that's how I fixed my little mistake here. There we go. Okay, so let's go on to the next. This guy's going to go over like this. Almost like a serpent. Yes, they actually did believe there were serpents. You know what? This was going over. I might as well keep this ring here. Let it go over. Did I put something here? I can do this. That did happen. It could look like a belt. This guy goes underneath like that. And we'll deal with that problem when we get there. That goes underneath here. Good. This goes over here. And this guy will come out this way. Stuff does happen all the time like that. So here's the ring. The brass ring of copper. Very important in those days. One time copper was worth more than, well, gold was important, but copper was used for. Okay, so if I start erasing some of these, let's see what will happen. I don't think I'm fully done here. So this guy's going to go this way. And this means I'm going to see this ring here no matter what. The question is, this guy goes underneath there. And this guy is going to come. Yeah, this guy's going to go over. Come out here again. We'll work with that. Maybe we have something here holding it together. Okay. You guys see that? So now, grabbing my pencil again, I'm going to try to figure out how to do the knots here. So this knot's going to go more than likely over here. Whoops, that was a weird twist. Imagine. And this guy just might overlap it. So this guy's going to come out from down here. So I'm going to erase this so I can know this guy's overlapping this guy. And this guy's going to go over here. Okay. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a different knot start from here. So this guy's going to go over here. So it's this knot here. This guy's going to go. So this means this guy's going to have to go this way. Go underneath. Actually, it should go the other way around. If I know my knots, should be the other way around. There we go. And there's the brass. I'm going to go underneath here. Come out here again. And this guy's going to do a curve here. Whoops. Go underneath. Go underneath. And put that in there. Okay. So this guy, you know what? I'm going to have this guy pop out this way. So this means this guy's going to come out from here and go over here. Although I could have another brass ring here and put like a, there we go, like a belt, and the needle comes out here. There we go. Let's do that. Put a little line here too, a little line here to make it look like there's still knots. I should have that here. There we go. You see how this is coming out? So now I'm going to start it here too. So this guy should come out over here. So this means this guy's going to hide. I hope I didn't. Let's see if it's ink, it's going to have to, cool. It was not inked yet. So this means this guy's going to have to go this way. So this guy's going to go this way. The brass ring goes here. So this means this guy is going to go underneath. Okay, yeah, I want this guy to go underneath. There we go. And then here it's probably going to go above. And it's going to shrink here. Follow that. And this guy is going to go on top. I'm going to leave this guy pop over here. Let's do that. Have another knot come out here. Start. If you need to start from fresh, go for it. And then another one from here. And it's going to go this way. And then one that goes from here. And then just basically same thing. There's another method. So later on you can commit to the ink last. So you want to erase your pencils as soon as possible. Let the ink dry. Even if it's a ballpoint ink, let it dry. So, and then you're going to pick colors. We can use crayons, colored pencils. I prefer colored pencils for this. Okay, let's see how I have them. So yeah, start doing your knots. This is the first part, as you heard the bell. So, whoops, this guy is going to go underneath, and this guy is going to go, you know what, I'm going to decide to make this guy on top because I noticed the other one. And here's the last one. This guy's going to go this way, and this guy is going to go the other way. You could, like I would tell you, try to use the sample from the worksheet right here. Much better, follow their method. I started curving mine because I wanted to start looking more organic, but I think it's much easier if you follow their directions. So you saw how I did this one. On the second video, I'm going to finish this one, and I'm going to start coloring after I ink. Okay, guys? So this is video number 1. It's taking us 38 minutes. Let's save this one.